Good evening. I'd like to call this meeting of the Sterling Heights City Council to order. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear God, please bless our elected officials. Grant them courage and wisdom to do what is right for all citizens. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Mrs. Riska. Can we please have the roll call?
Mayor Taylor?
Here.
Mrs. Sarowski?
Here.
Mrs. Koski?
Present.
Mr. Radke?
Present.
Mrs. Schmidt?
Present.
Mr. Yanez?
Here.
Mrs. Zarko?
Present.
Thank you, Council. We need approval of the agenda.
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Koski.
move to approve the agenda.
Support.
Been moved and supported. No discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. First item on our agenda tonight is a report from our city manager, Mark Vanderpool. Mr. Vanderpool.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to begin by reminding everyone that the Cultural Exchange Program is coming up quickly and will be held on Friday, March 1st at our Senior Center. Many of you who have attended this knows that it grows every year. In fact, we're growing out of the venue. This will be the last year, barring any problems across the street. We will next year be in our new facility, the new community center. So in any case, it's on March 1st, and it has all the normal festivities that we've had in past cultural exchange programs. And we'll also have a shuttle bus as well, because parking often becomes problematic because of the great attendance. So we look forward to seeing everyone at the cultural exchange program from 6 to 10 at the Senior Center on March 1st. And I hate to talk about this topic, but it's necessary, and that is road construction projects are currently in the planning stages, and we have another very robust year for road improvement projects throughout the city. And I wanted to highlight some of the big ones. If I can draw your attention to the screen before you. There'll be numerous major road projects, much like last year, under construction in the city. First 19-mile road will be resurfaced from Hayes over to Shaner, both directions, at a cost of just under $2 million. The long-awaited 14-mile road will be resurfaced from Ryan to DeQuinder. This project has been delayed by the county because there's a water main project that Warren had to complete. That project has been engineered and bid and will be soon under construction. So once the water main project's complete, then that road can be resurfaced this summer. And then we also have a significant project at Metro Parkway, just under $2 million. That's going to go from Van Dyke to approximately just behind the Home Depot, or where the rear of the Home Depot building is demarcated. As you know, that intersection there is in very poor condition. Also, Merrill Road will be resurfaced from 18.5-mile road all the way up to M59, both directions. This too is a much anticipated project. And a new project that we're able to get funded this year, working with the county, is 18-mile road, which will be resurfaced from Mound to Ryan. That will also occur this summer. The second phase of Utica Road will be resurfaced from Dodge Park Road over to Van Dyke in both directions. And of course, one of the bigger projects this year will be the phase 2 of Shaner Road. And this will go from approximately the Plumbrook drain, where the first phase left off, up to 19-mile road. And we're trying to get it a little further north, but still working through some of those issues. So that will be a very large and somewhat disruptive project this summer. The total of these major road projects, just over $15 million, and that's just major roads. Now, neighborhood roads, we also have the biggest year planned in our city's history for local road improvements at just over $7 million. So there'll be many neighborhood roads improved this summer, and on top of the major roads, over $20 million in various road improvements in Sterling Heights this year. So we have some of the banners going up Let's see, it'll be the first week in March to alert motorists these projects are coming, so you can look forward to all of this work. And also every year around this time, when about assessment notices are going to be going out, which is actually next week, I'd like to update the community and highlight how Sterling Heights ranks statewide in terms of property values. And I think this is really important because property owners highly value their property. In many cases, it's the largest investment that an individual has. So you like to see your investments grow, and it's certainly no different with your home or a business if you're a business. So this ranking that I'm going to go through quickly shows how the city ranks statewide overall in property valuations. First, when we look at the top 5 cities in terms of property valuation, they include Ann Arbor, Detroit, Troy, Grand Rapids, and Sterling Heights. And we rank very favorably, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, statewide. In terms of residential property, we have the 3rd highest valuation on residential property statewide, which I think is an indicator that the city's headed in the right direction and doing all it can to make sure neighborhoods are well maintained and that property values are going up instead of down. Also, we rank very favorably, not surprisingly, on manufacturing property valuation. We're 2nd in the state of Michigan on manufacturing valuation. So overall, to be in the top 5, I think, is a significant accomplishment, but to also rank even higher in the top 5 is certainly noteworthy. So again, this is just illustrates in a different manner how we've ranked, certainly in industrial, among the top. And then when we drill down to the county, we look at all valuations across Macomb County, and Sterling Heights ranks very favorably county-wide. When we look at the top 5 valuation communities in the county, they include Sterling Heights, Macomb Township, Shelby Township, City of Warren, and Clinton Township. And you can see here that on residential property, we rank number 1, commercial property number 1, industrial property number 2, next to Warren, and personal property number 2 as well, next to Warren. But in terms of individuals, it's great to be in the number 1 spot when you're talking about home valuation. And just looking at it a little differently, when we look across Macomb County, Sterling Heights in a number 1 position on residential, number 1 on commercial, and very favorably on manufacturing and personal property. And when you look at total valuation across the county, by far Sterling Heights has the highest valuation. Now the good news is, just because we have high property valuation, which is very good, it does not correlate to property taxes. And this illustration before you shows how when we drill down to the average home valuation in Sterling Heights, what it equates to in property taxes. So for example, the peak before the Great Recession and property values started declining, the peak of a home in Sterling Heights was approximately $200,000. So that's the SEV times 2 represents the market value. You can see in 2018, property values have recovered nicely. It took 11 years, but property values have recovered and they're almost back to where they were in 2007, right around a market value range of $200,000 for the average price home. Of course, taxable value is much lower. So what it means in terms of property taxes, total property taxes for that average home was approximately $2,700 in 2007 and just over $2,900 recently. So over an 11-year period of time, property taxes on the average home will have increased just over $200, which is less than 1% per year. So way below the rate of inflation over that 11-year period of time. Or in terms of dollar amounts, it would equate to about just over $18 per year in terms of property tax increases over that 11-year period of time. And that includes the voter-approved millages for safe streets and also recreating recreation. So I thought this information was helpful to take a look at, and I'll continue to provide updates annually. Again, assessment notices will be going out next week. And Mayor, lastly, I wanted to show a video showcasing our ice rink, which has been just incredibly successful over the winter months. Unfortunately, it has to come to a close sometime soon, but that's a good sign. Spring is on the horizon. But I wanted to show this video and a fundraising cause we had recently. I think everyone will agree this is an incredible cause that we're trying to raise some money for service dogs. So please enjoy the video.
On a beautiful February afternoon, residents had a chance to come out to the community's newest amenity, the Dodge Park Ice Rink, for Sterling Winter Skate.
Well, we are here in Dodge Park celebrating our first ever Sterling Winter Skate. It's a free event for anybody who wants to come check out the ice rink. We have our police officers and firefighters who are skating, as well as some city council members too. So just a great opportunity for residents, even non-residents, to come out and see what we have going on here in Dodge Park and expose some people to this great amenity in Dodge Park.
The police and fire chief both spent some time on the ice, getting the chance to skate with families from all around the community.
I haven't skated in about 6 years, and my goal was not to fall. That was accomplished, but my guys were so gracious. We had a bunch of officers out here today. They volunteered their time, came out here on a Saturday, ice skating with these kids, and it was just awesome. We had some of our tactical, our SWAT guys out there, our community police officers, and the guys on our new Sterling Heights hockey team were out here. Just a great day, a lot of families. It was really nice.
It was cool to see, a lot of smiling faces, a lot of kids learning how to skate, trying to skate. So I got to help a few kids skate around and got to talk to a couple of residents. It was all around a good afternoon so far.
Yeah, obviously with the reimagination of Dodge Park, and this skating rink is just absolutely phenomenal. And then these families out here and the smiles on all their faces, families and kids and cops and firefighters, it's just a great day. In the middle of winter in Sterling Heights with this beautiful ice skating rink and everyone in a good mood. It's a dream come true for community policing, to be part of the community and for them to be with us. Great day.
Residents that came out with their families also had an opportunity to support the Guardian Angels Medical Dogs charity, which was at the event raising funds for a dog with a familiar name who will be donated to a veteran or first responder in need.
So there's a dog named Sterling, and we're hoping within the next year and a half we can raise close to $25,000 so that Sterling can then be paired with a first responder, police officer, or a veteran.
Army veterans Reed Kaiser and Matthew McMurray were both at the event, along with their dogs Bailey and Cobalt, to give residents a chance to see the impact that Guardian Angels medical dogs have had on their lives.
The organization is fantastic, and that's one of the reasons why I'm out here braving the cold with Cobalt in order to raise awareness about how effective medical service dogs are.
So far, it's been a huge difference. Yeah, it's a lot of difference change to your life, but just in the 4 months I've had her, I've seen changes in myself. My family's seen changes in myself. I'm not as triggered, so to speak. Bailey helps me staying calm in stressful situations like this. Like before, I would never have came to a place like this, let alone have my back to this. But with Bailey, she helps me get through these experiences and realize that it's safe. It's a safe place.
Anyone wishing to contribute to Sterling can go to our website to click on the link. And Mayor, that concludes my report. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Vanderpool. Next item on our agenda tonight is the consent agenda. Is there anyone in the audience who'd like to speak on any item on tonight's consent agenda? Mr. Shea?
Good evening, Mayor and City Council and residents. First question, or not a question, statement I want to make. Consent agenda G and I, the one is for $244,000 and the other one is for $240,000. I just feel these needed to be on considerations instead of consent agendas. You could explain to the residents more on a consideration than just blanket vote for that big a cost on the consent agenda. That's my feelings on that. But regarding consent agenda I didn't look up the backup. I don't know where Fire Station 1 is, but is Fire Station 1 one of the stations that we currently rehabbed in the last few years or updated in the last few years? And if not, I thought Station 1 was either the one at 17 and Van Dyke or the one on Ryan. And so I'd like some backup regarding the roof, how old the roof was or what's happening with it. I mean, I understand roofs need to be replaced, but I'm just curious where Station 1 is. And consent agenda J, the Island Park Bridge. You're repairing the bridge, but another question I have, responding and repairing the bridge, I go out on the island and stuff. What's going to be done with the island? It's been sitting there for a long time, and if I read in the paper that you're thinking about maybe building another bridge from Lakeside across and having two, but I'm not sure. But what's going to happen with the bridge and the island? You're putting money into it, so it's a question I have. And lastly, number L, to adopt a resolution establishing the City Council budget workshop schedule. To the residents, everyone that's online and wherever, if you want to understand what's happening with the city, the budget meetings are going to be available, and I don't know how many you plan to have this year, but that's where you need to go if you have any questions and concerns. We can all, myself included, I can always get online and ask stuff, but if you really want to know, I haven't been to a budget meeting in a while, but they're long, but they go through detail and everything, and that's where you're going to learn a lot of stuff about what's happening. And besides, the budget's going to be online. But I mean, if you really want any questions or concerns, you need to come down here. And they're going to be posting when this after tonight when the meetings are going to be. So I encourage everyone to get involved. That's where you can actually use your voice and say yay or nay on a project, or yay or nay on what a department's doing. So that's all I got. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Shea. Anyone else on the consent agenda? If not, council, we need a motion.
Mr. Mayor,
Mrs. Koski.
move to approve the consent agenda.
Support.
It's been moved and supported with no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next is communications from citizens. Is there anyone who'd like to speak on any item not on tonight's agenda? Mr. Judnick?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Happy New Year to everybody. This is just Mr. Vanderpool, a couple of items. The pothole season's upon us now in full swing. Please make sure to have the DPW stay on Merrill Road. It's atrocious already, and just maintain it. Oh, by the way, if you can tell me when that project is scheduled to start, if it's going to be early in the spring or late in the fall, if you can answer that for me. And the last item on Merrill Road, just south of 19 and a half, about 3 years ago, there was a car that hit an Edison pole. A guy was airborne and snapped his pole in half about 4 or 5 feet off the ground, broke it right in half. Edison came out, they replaced a brand new pole, and that was the end of it. They never did anything else. The broken pole is still there. It's just being held up by a bolt into the new pole. There's orange barricades all around there. There's orange cones all around there. The side, there's a contact caution ribbon all around there, and it's interrupting the walking on the sidewalk. So I hope that you or somebody from your administration would call whoever you need to call in Detroit Edison and have that mess all cleaned up. It's been 3 years. And that's it for tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Judnick. Anyone else? Thank you, sir.
Hi, good evening, council members. Just a resident here in Sterling Heights. My concern was the project that took place, the sidewalk project that the residents had to pay. I recently paid a $694 bill for the sidewalk project. And I guess I just want some clarification as to, or maybe someone could help me understand how that decision was made and passed along to the residents. Because that was a significant bill for me, and I know for others, and a rather inflexible payment option. It was either pay up front or pay within, I don't know, I think it was 3 months or something like that. So and a project being that large, I just want to know how the decision was came to like pass that off to the citizens. I just don't understand that. And that's it. That was my concern. This is my first council meeting, and I've been a resident for 8-9 years, and just really disappointed with that bill that I had to pay. So thank you. Thank you for your time.
All right, thank you, sir. We'll address those after everyone's had a chance to speak, all right? Anyone else? Mr. Jefferson?
Charles Jefferson, Sterling Heights. At the last meeting, I invited people who like the big circle to come down here and voice their likes for the big circle, and I see we don't have very many residents here on a cold February afternoon like I predicted. So, hey, you got what you got. To harken back to what Jerry said right before he left, the budget meeting is all, it's important to get resident input down here. At the last meeting, at the last budget hearing, I think I was the only one to show up. So, hey, you got what you get. You don't want to be a part of the process, you get what you get. Mr. Vanderpool, at the last meeting, you went over the STEM school or camp or whatever. I was wondering, when are you going to go over people who, the trades? Are we going to have a trade school industry? Because the trades, we need that because STEM people don't tend to build houses. We need, or come out and fix your plumbing, or fix your car. We need that here in Sterling Heights. So hopefully we can get something like that done. You came up and talked about 19 Mile Road being fixed between Shaner and Saul Road. The other side, when is that going to be done between Clinton River and Shaner? Because that's in a worse condition. Also over here on Utica Road between Hayes and Shaner, that is in terrible, terrible condition. I don't know when you have a plan to get that done, but that's pretty well beat up. Now, Yanez, how you doing? I haven't had a chance to get to you yet because sellout cigar go. But they put you up there pretty much to get along. You're not put up there to get along. You're up there to get it right. And our side would like for you to get it right, to show us you get right. We need you to write a resolution up to the state saying that we would no longer like our voting rights taken away. We voted on medical marijuana to be recreationally used and sold here in this city and throughout the state. That's what we would like for you to do. Also, we would like for you to write a resolution up to the governor and to the state attorney's office. I don't know how you have to get a feel of this between the cities, and you have to have some city residents this, but we don't want to be a part of this lawsuit for the wall. We just want to be left out of it. So they put you up there, they said you got connections to this with the state and you know how to do stuff. Well, start doing it. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Jefferson. Yes, you, sir.
Hey, Council. Joe Bodone here. I really just wanted to congratulate everyone. Being a resident in this city, I'm actually really proud at this point in my life to be part of the city of Sterling Heights. A good measure is the fact that we are ranked 5th in residential properties right now. I mean, that's a huge, third in residential, third apparently in residential properties. That's a huge accomplishment. So there's a lot of disagreement with some of the newest amenities that have been added to the city and whatnot, but you look at, the facts are the facts. People want to live in Sterling Heights. Property values are high. If I go to sell my house, I'm going to make a profit on the house from what I paid to buy that house. So I do want to say that I am proud to be a member of this community, and I want to thank everyone on the council for all the hard work you guys have done. Keep it up, and, try not to get sidetracked from some of the negativity that seems to go around, so keep up the good work. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Anyone else? Mr. Shea?
Mayor and City Council and residents. I haven't been here for a few months, and it's been a while. First, I want to thank Megan from the City Manager's Office. In the last couple of weeks, I've had an opportunity to talk to her, and what a great asset to the community and stuff. She's really hardworking, and man, she does her homework, and she's very helpful. So I want to thank her personally, publicly, because sometimes I'm not the easiest person to get along with or when I'm looking for something, but man, she's a class act. And I want to also thank the City Council, City Administration, and I also want to say an apology too, because I went back with the help of Megan, and I went through, you guys were planning to work on the Upton House and stuff, but the problem was I never attended any of the meetings, and I didn't go through the backup and everything, so I know you did the roof, and I want to thank you for doing the stairs, but you had a process, and I don't know, sometimes you got to get all the money together and everything, but once I looked at it and stuff, you are going to put money into the house. You are going to do things with it and stuff, and I know you have to balance your money, not just with the Upton House, but you got a lot of other city buildings and stuff to work on, so I know we went through that bad time, in 2008, 2009, so there's a lot of catch-up and different things to do, but I just want to say thank you for addressing it and stuff, and the house really does look great inside, and it's starting to, outside and stuff, and I know you have stuff planned for it, too. And one thing I want to, you mentioned the ice rink, what a positive asset for the community and stuff, and I want to thank Kyle and his department, not just for the ice rink, but what they do with Parks and Rec and stuff. Man, they do a bang-up job. I don't use a lot of the facilities. You're not going to see me on the skate park, not at my age. And you're not going to see me at the maybe the basketball court, but the soccer fields and the rest. But I mean, it's been fantastic, the response. So I just wanted to let you know that. And regarding art, I just want to know, I think the art on the police station is going to be wonderful. I want to know, is the Detroit Institute of Arts paying for that, the city? And when is the project going to, I know it's going to start in warmer weather, but what is the concept? I've seen the video you put on with the police department and stuff down at the DIA. What a nice video and stuff. It was really nice, but if you can explain more about the project, I think it's a great asset for the community. And regarding the Golden Ring and the other projects of art, who does the art commission, or what commission decides that, or what are the projects decided for 2019, or where can the residents go to find out information, not just at the council, but who picks the projects? And I think eventually, I wasn't here for when it was voted on for at the council meeting, so I really don't have a say, yay or nay, if it's good or bad, because I wasn't here. I had an opportunity to say if I liked it or didn't like it, and I think eventually, once the landscaping's done, I think it's going to be, people are going to be surprised. It's going to do more for the community and everything. So I just like to know, you can let the residents know how to get involved and how art is picked, because I don't know the answer. And The reason I bring that up because the Sterling Heights Century is going to do a follow-up article on what they did, and they want to know how the public feels. Well, the public out there, you have an opportunity to get involved. Commission meetings, council meetings, wherever. You have to use your voice, and you can vote. But the thing is, if you don't get involved, you're not gonna. You can complain all you want, and I did my share of complaining through the years. But so thanks a lot. Have a good night.
Thank you, Jerry. Anyone else under communications from citizens? Now to close that portion, go on to reports from city administration. Mr. Vanderpool, particularly on Merrill Road, as Mr. Judnick asked, and if you could provide the resident with an explanation of the sidewalk program.
Sure, be happy to, Mayor. First on Merrill Road, we don't have a definitive timeline other than to say this summer. We still have to bid that project out, and we still have to work in the construction schedule, but the plan is to get it done this summer. As soon as we have more details, I'll be happy to provide that to the residents and to the city council. With respect to the Edison pole, we'll certainly get that, work with DT to get that removed quickly. We do have a sidewalk special assessment program. This has been a long-standing special assessment program that has been in place for decades in the community. And essentially, sidewalk that falls into disrepair, unfortunately, is a homeowner's responsibility. And we proceed with those repairs through a special assessment. But what I want to look into with the resident that spoke, if we can talk after the meeting to get your name and phone number, is to determine what sort of payment options that we might be able to work out for you in the program. So we do send out a number of notifications before the program begins. Residents do have a chance to replace the sidewalk on their own if they so choose with their own contractor or doing the work themselves, as long as it's according to our specifications. I can certainly share all this information with you. Thank you, Mayor.
All right, thank you, Mr. Vanderpool. Mr. Koszubski, anything tonight?
Nothing tonight, Mayor.
Council, any reports or new business? Anything? Anybody?
Mayor Taylor.
Mrs. Schmidt.
Through the chair to Mr. Vanderpool, Mr. Jefferson brought up the exact road that I showed to Mrs. Sarowski during the presentation. I don't think Utica Road from Hayes to Shaner can last another summer. And I know it's a county road, but we have to have some input as to getting that expedited because it is horrendous. I use that road all the time. It's my go-to road. It is horrendous. So if you could maybe follow up with maybe pushing that ahead, seeing what we can do or what the game plan is for when that's to be done, I'd appreciate it.
Thank you, Mrs. Schmidt. Anyone else? Mrs. Sarowski? Yeah. It looked like you were saying, no, I don't want any more.
I was waving.
I should have known better, sorry.
You should know better by now. Okay, so I just wanted to say, again, and it had been mentioned that I did attend the winter skate event, and it was a lot of fun. I grew up skating. Couldn't tell by the way I skated, however, over the weekend, but it was a lot of fun. We have got some wonderful, wonderful amenities. I've lived here for almost 30 years, and in that time at the same house, right by Dodge Park, it is great to live there now because it's always been good, but just to be so close to our amenities, I just want to commend the rest of the council and the councils before I was on because they have done a wonderful job making sure that we have the best quality of life that we can have here. So that's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Sarowski. Mr. Radke.
I just want to second Mayor Pro Tem Sarowski. I attended the open skate, and I was so impressed by just how many people the Parks Fest were able to get through the door, because for a time they were out of skates. They were out of walkers for the kids who were learning how to skate. It was a packed event. I want to thank all the police and firefighters who made time out of their busy schedule to come by and really show kids how to skate and really interact with the community. Go further than that, I also wanted to congratulate our Parks and Recreation Director, Kyle Langlois, for receiving a leadership award from the Michigan Parks Association for all of his hard work in Sterling Heights. He was honored yesterday here at City Hall in front of his colleagues, but I think that we need to really tell the residents we have some great directors and employees here in the city of Sterling Heights who are really, I think, going above and beyond to bring a wonderful experience to them, especially our parks director. I also wanted to briefly, if I could ask Mr. Vanderpool to explain, Mr. Seja, I understand how much you care about the Upton House. We had a pipe break in the Upton House, I believe. Could you explain that very briefly and what's going on?
Mr. Vanderpool.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilman Radke, you're correct. We did have a water line break in the Upton House. Unfortunately, of course, it's an older home, so these things periodically do happen. The break was such that it didn't cause so much water damage in and of itself, but because the furnace system was running over the couple-day period of time before it was detected, there was a lot of moisture that occurred throughout the home. So there is some cleanup. There's no doubt we'll have to make an insurance claim against this particular loss. The good news is, in terms of any loss of historical items or improvements that had any sort of historical significance, we fared very well. So this is going to be sort of a routine cleanup, a routine replacement of some flooring and the like. So it's unfortunate, but that's why we have insurance coverage on this, and we're proceeding accordingly to make the improvements.
Thank you. And then I have one more question. If we could we get more information out to the residents about how our Arts Commission works in Sterling Heights and how we pick our artwork? You know, especially if we're going to expand the mural program and really do even more art in the future. I'd love to have input from the residents about what they want and different ideas for murals or things like that, because I think that it's really wonderful, and I hope to really increase the amount of art we have in Sterling Heights.
Mayor, I would be happy to do that. Thank you, Councilman Radke. It's not a problem. We'll push that out. I think it's good information for the community to have. I did want to comment, since you brought it up, the mural that's going to go on the police department building, which is absolutely fantastic. The community will be seeing much more about this. There was a press release that was issued recently, but that mural is being done in concert with the Detroit Institute of Arts. In fact, they've made a grant available to the city in the amount of $15,000 to actually complete that mural. So the city's art program is taking off. Its valuation far exceeds what we've paid for the art so far. We do get regular evaluations on the art that's owned by the city, and as everyone can attest to, it gets a lot of attention, mostly positive, but it certainly gets people talking about the pieces, which is the whole intent, drawing attention to our community. And the Arts Commission plays a great role, and we need to do a better job of publicizing their good work.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Radke. Mrs. Koski.
Thank you. Through the chair to Mr. Vanderpool, a resident tonight questioned 2 items on the consent agenda. Can you give a brief explanation for item G and I? And also, when Merrill Road is done, will we be able to replace the traffic light at, I think it's 19 and Merrill at the same time?
Mr. Vanderpool.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilwoman Koski, your last question is probably the hardest. I have to check to see if that signal is scheduled with the road project, but I'll certainly get back with you on that. In terms of the consent items, you referenced specifically item I and item G. First of all, item I pertains to replacing 2 roof systems in particular that pertain to this agenda item. One is at Fire Station 1, which is the original roof. We've never replaced it. It's approaching 30 years old, so it's exhausted its useful life. This was not one of the fire stations that was rehabbed a number of years ago, 10 or so years ago. This building has not been refurbished at all, but however, certainly the roofs need to be replaced. The other roof on this particular item is our salt barn. Here again, this roof was approaching 30 years old, really needed to be replaced. Thus, we had to get it done before spring. And your second one pertained to G. G is a replacement of our city phone system. Believe it or not, our phone system now in the city is over 20 years old. As most could attest to in your own businesses, that simply, far exceeds the useful life of the phone system, so it's necessary that we upgrade the phone system and get it replaced. Thank you.
All right. Anyone else, council? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Support.
Been moved and supported with no discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. This meeting is adjourned.